Okay, today we're going to talk about a way of doing business that flips everything you've been told about success right on its head. This is about building a business that's not just for making money, but for creating a life you actually genuinely love. Work less, earn more, enjoy life. I mean, come on, that sounds like a fantasy, right? It's the exact opposite of what we always hear. But what if it's not just some nice sounding motto? What if it's actually a real, practical blueprint for a better business and, a better life? Yeah, exactly. I mean, aren't we all supposed to be grinding 16 hours a day? We've all been fed this story, this hustle culture myth, where being totally burnt out is something to be proud of. Well, the model we're looking at today, it doesn't just poke holes in that idea, it wants to tear it down completely.
Okay, so let's get into it. How on earth can working less possibly lead to earning more? It sounds completely backwards, but there's some serious logic to it. All right, take a look at these two paths. On one side, you've got the hustle and grind model. You know the one, 12, 16-hour days. It always leads to burnout. And frankly, your work quality just tanks. But then you have the system builder. This person works way less, maybe just 2 to 4 hours a day. Now, this isn't about being lazy. When you limit your time like that, you are forced to be incredibly smart and efficient. You have no choice but to build systems that do the heavy lifting for you. And the result? Better rest means your brain is sharper, which means you produce higher quality work. It's a simple but really powerful cycle. So we've kind of put a dent in the hustle myth. But what about that other dream? You know the one, the digital nomad fantasy we see all over Instagram. Is working from a tropical beach really all it's cracked up to be? You know the picture. Sipping a coconut, laptop perfectly balanced on your knees. That's the Instagram dream. But let's talk about the sandy reality. You can't see your screen because of the sun glare. The Wi-Fi is terrible, you're constantly thirsty, and that idea of a permanent vacation, it turns out like it's old, really quick. It's just not a sustainable way to actually get anything done.
Okay, so if the endless grind is a trap and working from the beach is kind of a fantasy, what's left? What's the real sustainable alternative? This is where we get to the core idea, building what's called your business of you. And this is a big shift. We're not just talking about starting a company here. We're talking about redesigning your work from the ground up so that it serves your life instead of you serving your work. So here's the definition. It's a system for creating your ideal lifestyle using your unique skills, your interests, your expertise, and then using the internet to keep costs low and freedom high. The key insight here is you don't need some once-in-a-lifetime business idea. You just need to package and sell, well, you. It's all about taking what you already know and who you already are and turning that into something of value for others. Now, this approach is really built on a foundation of some core values, things like self-reliance, time freedom, location freedom, and bigger concepts like sovereignty and autonomy. This is for people who want to be in the driver's seat of their own life, who want to take full ownership of their path and not answer to anyone else. All right, this next point might be a little controversial. We are constantly told to specialize, niche down, become the expert in one tiny thing. But what if that's actually terrible advice? Robert Heinlein famously said, "Specialization is for insects," and that quote really gets to the heart of this next idea. Think about it for a second. In this model, you don't just survive as a generalist, you thrive. Why? Because specialists are becoming easier and easier to automate. They master one repeatable task, and that's exactly what AI is getting really good at. But a generalist? A generalist can connect ideas from different fields, adapt on the fly, and solve new problems. That's a skill set that's incredibly hard to replace. Okay, this all sounds great in theory, right? But how do you actually start, especially if you feel like you have zero experience? Well, there are basically two main paths you can go down. So path one is the skill-based route. Pretty simple, learn a skill, sell that skill, then maybe teach that skill. It's a great starting point for sure. But the big risk is that you accidentally build yourself a new, more stressful 9 to 5. You're just trading one boss for a bunch of clients. Now, path two is the development-based path, and this is where the business of you really comes alive. Here, your business is built around your own personal goals and the problems you solve for yourself. Then you turn around and sell those solutions to other people. It's not just about wealth. It tackles the big areas of life: health, wealth, relationships, and happiness. It's just a much more sustainable and, honestly, a more fulfilling way to go. So, how does this development-based thing actually work? Well, it all comes down to a really elegant four-pillar framework. This is how you literally turn your own personal journey into a functioning business. Check this out. This is basically the engine of the whole thing. The stuff you put in, your personal stuff, becomes your business output. So your goals, well, you're the leader of that journey, and that becomes your brand. The problems you face along the way, you become the guide for others, and that becomes your content. The systems you build to solve those problems, you become the teacher, and that becomes your product. And finally, the benefits you get from all this, you're the messenger, and that becomes your marketing. See how it works? You're basically your own first case study. And if you're worried about, what do I talk about? I'll run out of ideas. This approach solves that forever. Here's how. You pick 3 core interests. First, one that can make you money. Second, one that you're just genuinely excited about. And third, something development-based like psychology or philosophy. Then your job is just to find the principles in each area and, most importantly, make connections between them. That's where your unique voice comes from. It's a literally endless well of content. Now, this next part is maybe the most important rule of all. Do not wait to monetize. Seriously, don't wait until you feel like an expert. Your first product is probably going to be bad, and that is totally okay. The point is to get it out there, get some feedback from real people, and then make it better. You fail, you learn, you iterate. That's how you actually build something great. So what could you actually sell, like right now? Start with something small, a minimum viable offer. Look at option 1. You could take a single freelance skill, say web design, and package it up for $500 to $1,000. Or option 2, you could offer a few consulting calls based on one of your interests. The beauty of both of these is that you get paid to learn, you get to deliver real results for people, and you start building your reputation all at the same time. So, at the end of the day, this isn't just a business model. It's really a framework for living a more intentional life. It teaches you that your own journey, your goals, your struggles, is actually your most valuable asset. Everything you need to start is already there. Your goals are your brand. Your problems are your content. So the only real question is, what story will you tell?